What's up, people? I'm trying to get this up. Alright, I'm at the terminal. I got here. Did I get here? I got here Tuesday night and dropped my load, which some other drivers going to take to California because I brought the load out of Texas. The drama load with the crushed airbags. Stopped in Lubbock, saw my dad. Y'all saw that video. Had a come to Jesus meeting with him. Just real quick. So my father's actually also a licensed minister, but his favorite pastime was screwing females. I'll be honest, and that's why he got kids all over the place. Since he couldn't do that, I think once he had prostate cancer, even though he won't admit it, I believe he got depressed, and he just pretty much eat, sleep, poop like a cocker spaniel, and sleep all day, and then do the same thing at lunch, breakfast, dinner, and go to bed. And that's what he's done since he's retired, and he's been retired for well over 10 years now. He retired at 62. 8 to 10 years is how he's been retired, about 8 to 10 years. So he's now like 68, 69 years old, and his health has diminished because he don't do crap. So to my people out there, for you guys who are drivers in this industry, or whatever industry you're in that you might watch this, when you retire, you still have to stay active. Your brain has to stay active, and your body has to stay active. And even though I'm fat and fluffy, I can't stand I cannot stand just doing nothing. Even when I was living in, I didn't have a car here in Phoenix, I could not stand just sitting in my apartment. I would get out, and we had free transportation in Tempe. I would take the transit downtown and walk around. I'd go see a movie. I had to do something. I don't understand how you just sit in a chair and sleep all day. That to me is just, it's totally sick. There's something wrong with you. And lazy Lubbock, that's something I think those people enjoy. I'm not built the same way. I can't stand it. So that's what he did, and his body has diminished. His mental capacity is diminishing. His physical body is diminishing. And so, and then he's also not, as a diabetic, he's not maintaining his diabetes on light sugar-free soda. So he's buying soda with sugar in it. And now on top of the being impotent, where he can't screw every woman, thank you Jesus, he also now has incontinence, meaning that he can't pee normally. So, and because I think because of the whole male thing, y'all ego is crazy as hell, he won't do the catheter, which is what he needs to do. And I told him, holding urine in your body that long is not good for you. It's actually extremely bad for you. So, excuse me. It's extremely bad for you. And so having urine in your body that long is not a good thing. So he basically, just turning around a little bit here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta clean up the truck. My truck is a mess right now. But I got some other stuff on here from Lubbock. I took the sheets off the bed and washed those because the truck is going in the shop, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So unfortunately, I'm trying to get him to get his stuff in order. I'm his oldest child, but my last name is Lewis. I'm not Smith. So I also want things in order so that we know he's my father. He did tests done because he paid child support, at least for part of my life. And back in '68, he just did a blood test. So I'm not always not my dad, but my last name is different from my siblings. Their mothers gave them the last name Smith, which I'm happy. I like Lewis. I want to be Smith. I'm happy who I am. And so for him, I said, you need to put this in order. So if you want me to handle it, it'll get handled. I'm more of a get things done kind of person. Like when he got very sick out here, his appendix had ruptured, gangrene had set in, and I was the only living child out here. I'm the oldest child. I went to the hospital and handled it. Had I not, because he's very weird. He's like a lump on the log. Y'all saw he kind of just sitting there, and then you have to kind of get him talking about something. Otherwise, that's him. That's all he does. It's so freaking weird. And he won't talk about health issues. He won't handle none of his stuff. He would have died because he won't open his mouth. It just is very weird. And they kept telling him it was his heart, and he kept complaining about his stomach, and I then had to go in there and look. Y'all sit up here looking at his heart, but he's talking about his stomach. Can somebody please scan his damn stomach? And because I did that, actually that's why he's still breathing today. Had I not jumped in the, excuse my French, they asked at the hospital here in Phoenix regarding scanning his stomach, he would have died of gangrene because they had not scanned his stomach. And then once they did the heart check to find out it had nothing to do with his heart, the doctor then ordered the scan that I asked for of the stomach, and they found gangrene, and then a team of surgeons and hospital staff immediately came in and got him when he went to surgery. And that happened in Phoenix right before he retired from the railroad, a few years before he retired, right around the time his helper died. So yeah, that's my dad. So you got to see my biological father. Like I said, he is not a dad in the sense of being a daddy. He has no inkling on how to do that. He's a sperm donor. But I'm a person that also has a very biblical sense of things. You know, I might cuss your ass out if you piss me off. Might say some things if I'm just pissed off. But I do believe in very biblical foundations of you don't do evil for evil, and you try to do the right thing as best you can. So I've actually gone in and said, look, if you want me to handle this, then you need to get shit in order. Excuse my French. If you're not going to get your crap in order, then your other kids can deal with the disarray. Because my other problem is we don't know how many other children may come out the woodwork when all is said and done, and they can challenge everything if this is not in order. And I'm not going to be here to take care. I can't do craziness. I don't do a lot of family stuff anyway. I'm very selective as to who I deal with in my family. So I'm like that, and I'm honest about it. You know, I'm not trying to be mean or evil. I just don't. I meet people who are so caught up, and I got a very good friend of mine caught up in family mess and drama, and I sit there like this at him because it's just beyond scope. Why you put yourself where your blood pressure is up for people who don't want to do better. They want to stay in their mess. And that's why I tell them, this will be the last time I come out here if you don't get it in order. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be evil. I'm just being realistic. Is that your mother did not leave you a mess when something happened to her. She had to go have in-home care. She had to go to a nursing facility. She stayed with a family member. And then ultimately we had to put her in a casket. But all her stuff was in order. So why would you be so just an asshole to leave your kids with stuff in disarray? I mean, it just, to me, that is just the most self-centered thing that any human can do. And to be an asshole all the way to the casket, especially being that when you get to the other side, if you're a Christian, we believe we're talking to Jesus, and we believe we're gonna get judgment. So I think being an asshole all the way to the casket is dumb, but he does have a whole tendency, so he might. Anyway, off the subject of the pops, and let's get on to the truck. So what I wasn't saying, and I didn't say because I didn't want them, I didn't really know. So let me just put it like that. I originally, and some of my truckers will understand why I'm going to say stuff the way I'm going to say it. When I got this truck, I smelled something that smelled like an electrical burning smell. Initially, I thought it was coming from the bunk. Then I was like, well, maybe it's just the DEF, because when you have your regen happen, it's burning up the particulates, which is a nasty smell. And it wasn't constant. It was only at certain times, and I had to put 2 and 2 together equal 4 to even get the time frames in which I smelt this smell, this electrical burning smell. So when it really became prevalent is when the temperature started changing and the truck started cutting off from the idle. So what happens is, like a car, you can put your truck into what's called auxiliary mode, meaning that the engine's not running, it's not idling, and you're not driving it. But the key is turned into the on position. It just hasn't cranked to start the idling or start the truck up. So when the truck was in auxiliary mode, what would happen is I would then begin to get a burning smell. One night, because it knocked out, I told you my bunk heater is knocking out my inverter. One night when I got up to start the truck to rebuild the batteries, excuse me. When I got up to start the truck up, there was a white plume of smoke when I turned the key, because the key was already on, but when I turned it off and on, a white plume of smoke came from somewhere behind the steering wheel and the dash. I do not know where, but the smell of that burning electrical smell was extremely strong when that plume came up. So I knew that I was going to have to get it into the shop, but I had determined that when this smell happened, the key was in the on position. It's very prevalent when the lights are on and the key is in on position. So if you leave your lights on the on position, or the truck, because sometimes when I stop at truck stop, sometimes you're tired, and so you don't forget to turn your lights off. Or you have what's called the auxiliary lights on, which are the orange lights. And the reason I like to leave those on sometimes, because you don't know if people can back or not, and at night it's hard to sometimes see the truck. depending on where you're at. So those orange lights are an indicator as to how close you are to the truck if you're backing in. That's one of the reasons I usually like to leave the running and strip lights on. So what I would find is they would be on, and that electrical burning smell was strong, and then I determined it was somewhere up here in the steering dash area. Then we start having the issue with the knocking out of the bunk heater. I don't think they're tied. I think it's two separate things. So this company does stuff to the truck. So when they get their trucks, they put in now where if it idles between, if it's idling between a certain temperature, it actually will turn the truck off. And so while it turns it off, the key was left on because the original was idling. Well, something's happening where that key in the on position, there's a wire somewhere that's getting hot. And so that's something that needs to be fixed. And it's taken me months to figure out where it was, and it was an intermittent, it wasn't constant. So that's when I had the come to Jesus meeting with my driver manager, and I explained to her, look, if for any reason, because I was at this company before, and I had electrical issues with a brand new Volvo, and then they put me in a piece of crap old truck, if for any reason this truck cannot be repaired in a timely fashion for me to get back over the road, I do not want to be put into another BS like an old piece of crap. They got brand new trucks, and I'm not saying you have to give me a brand new truck, but I don't want it smoky, and I don't want a piece of shit truck. Okay, so I need something with low miles that runs and is clean, because I already had to go in here and spend days cleaning this shit. I'm sorry, I didn't, not as bad, but I told her I don't want to be stuck in that position again. She said, no, I won't put you in a piece of crap truck. And then she even told me, whatever time you need, let me know if you need me to push your PTA out more. No, we're not going to push my PTA out more. But what we will do is if this truck is going to be in a shop for more than, the 4 days that I'm here, then what we're going to do is talk about getting me into a newer truck here in Phoenix and transitioning over, because I'm going to have to run for the next 30 days. Because my piece of equipment has not been able to plug in. There are certain companies going to require my report. I'm on a CPAP, so let's just be honest. I'm on a CPAP. You have to have 30 days of reporting if they do a DOT physical. Well, I've had that, but I've been so intermittent, I don't have a full 30 days on this right now. So if I get pulled in to go do an interview for another company, they do a DOT physical, they're only going to give me a certain window to be current on it again. So it hurts me from being able to apply for certain companies if I don't have that 30-day plus reporting. And right now I can tell you I don't have it because the bunk heater keeps knocking out my freaking inverter, so I can't run my freaking CPAP machine. So that's kind of what's going on. So what I'm really hoping is that they just remove the freaking idle. The trucks are freaking fuel efficient, and they remove the idle while I'm here. I'm going to be applying to a truckload company that a gentleman on here, and I'm not giving his name because I don't want everybody named Mama bothering the man, but he gave me a major truckload company to apply for. They will take my existing DOT physical, which is good through June. I'm going to apply for them. It is dry van, but what I understand, it is 100% no-touch freight, and Trucker Bill is aware of the company. He says if you get in there, stick with them. I wasn't my goal to be a company driver, but if it is for long term, I really want to own. But if it's a good company with good benefits and good retirement plan, then I would stick with them. And I make decent money, I'll stick with them. So I know of the company. I know that their unionized side is pretty freaking phenomenal. The truckload division is not union, and I'm okay with that. I do not want to do doubles and triples. Bill did doubles and triples. It's good money, but you do have to chain. I'm not a person that's going to chain. And they drive kind of crazy, and I'm not a person that's going to drive. I have a cousin who rolled over in his doubles and triples, and I'm not going to do that because you're driving crazy to try to get a load somewhere. I'm just not going to do that. I took the simulator class yesterday here at my company. In the simulator class, child, I just had fun with it because I've done it before, and they've changed it. Now they can throw all sorts of stuff out there to you. You can be climbing a grade, and I guess I was going too fast, so my truck spun out over to the right. Then he gave me a scenario where I went in this really heavy fog, and I told him, I said, in the real life, I wouldn't have driven in either of these two scenarios. I'd be parked having soup in the back. But for the sake of the sim class, I just want to see what the hell is going to happen, so let's roll. So I rolled out there, and because I had to make sure I had to enjoy it. I mean, I just had to have fun with it. because I'm like, you're making me take this, so I'm going to enjoy with my time. So when I rolled out in the fog you can't see in, he then had another truck do a head-on collision. But I did good on my maneuvers because I maneuvered it and didn't kill myself or the other guy. He slid like this and we were back. It would have been a preventable accident if it was real life. But again, I wouldn't have drove in those damn conditions. I would have stayed parked. I'm just saying. But for the fun of the class, that's what I did. I had a good time in the class because I just had to make fun of it. I had to have some fun with it because it was, yeah. It was just, why am I doing this again? So I'm going to enjoy it and y'all just do what y'all want to do. I don't really care. I had fun with it. But while I was in the class, I met an owner op here, a lease purchase op. He is actually leaving the company. I guess with the merger, I knew something was up. I said, what's going on? And he said they have, the company they use is an independent company, which my company, trust me, has their hand in some of that money that that company gets. And there was some other stuff that they were using that made it possible for him to make really decent money. And then he was training. As a matter of fact, his trainee was in the class with him. And he said he was training, but he said a lot of the trainees that are coming out of trucking school here with the company, you gotta hear this, only 3 of the 10 are passing. I said, excuse me? He said only 3 out of 10 pass. So they might get them out there on their truck and then all of a sudden they pull them because they're not doing certain stuff from the reporting, and they pull them off the truck. So then he said he don't even get paid. I was like, it was some crazy stuff. Then I guess some things that have been changed with the truck. He's basically turning his, he's going to take it home this week. He's in Washington State. Clean out his truck. He's bought another truck. He's bought his own truck. He's got his own authority. He got all that. He just bought his trailer, and he's cleaning out this truck. He said, and now I'm bringing it back to the terminal and parking it because I told him I'm out of the lease as the end of next week. He said I'm done with it, and he hadn't finished out his full year. He said, you guys do what you want to do. I own my own truck next. And he says he doesn't even hear the way they've been doing it, which is what they're in lawsuit for. They don't, like, their truckers don't have their own business license. Instead, they're like an EIN or whatever. They're just paying them, but they pay them and they take all the responsibilities. But the company is keeping the trucks licensed under them, and they're getting the tax breaks. I'm like, that's some crazy. So basically, you're like a contractor who's taking all the responsibility. And so, but you're not getting any of the business benefits, or not the major business benefits. So he said he got out of it. He did it for just about 6 months. It gave him the experience he needs in order to know how to run his business. And that's what he's doing. So I told him, I said, well, yeah, I said, I'm getting ready. I said, I have, previously 3 years now. This makes 4 years of experience. So I'm getting ready to start looking, for something different. So I don't know that I'll be here through the end of the year. Like I said, I love the driver manager. She's cool. I wish I could take her with me. I wish she would go to another refrigerated company and then give me a call and say, hey, Shannon, I'm at XYZ company. Come on over. And I would be like, if they pay the right kind of money and have the right kind of equipment. Matter of fact, today while I was inside, I was doing my laundry for the bedding and whatever little laundry I had left, because I did laundry in Lubbock. But while I was in there, I got a text message from a company about a local run, $1,500 a week, out for 3 weeks, off for 5 days, and out of Arizona. Is dedicated, and I don't know how they got my information. Well, I called the number and it was JB Hunt. So they have some kind of dedicated run here in Phoenix, and I listen to them, but I'm trying to avoid the big boy companies. I really am, unless it's going to have to show me that they're really good, that they really are a driver advocate. That means, like I said, a dog, no idle policy. I'll be able to have a refrigerator on my truck. I want a good inverter so I can run what I need to run. I pretty much live off truck. Running over the road doesn't bother me, and I want to be able to home time wherever I want. I'm going to have to be company for at least a year to finish off my financial stuff. And then once I do that, I'm going to file for my business license and then see about purchasing a truck. Getting that in order right now. So that's kind of what's going on. Video is 20 minutes long. Working on the bunk heater where it knocks out the 12-volt power. The truck is going to go into the shop today. It's Thursday, the 19th. Truck goes in the shop tomorrow morning. I'm going to take the shuttle over to the hotel. I'll be in the hotel for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Hopefully returning to the truck on Tuesday if the truck is done. And going from there. If it's not done, then I'm going to call my driver manager and tell her, hey, I don't know what's going on, but we might need to get into another truck because I don't want to be stuck here. You know, I've already taken care of 4 days here at the hotel, and I'm not going to diminish my money staying at the hotel when I should be running. So if we either A, have to get me into another truck, please don't get me into a piece of shit. Get me a decent truck, non-smoking. I'm going to be real. You know, something newer, and I'm cool. But if it's, I don't want no piece of shit truck. So we'll see, because I have a feeling that the electrical issue is probably going to have to go to the Freightliner dealership. I like my truck, so I'm hoping that I can keep this until I leave. And like I said, I'm hoping if things go well with this gentleman's company, that would be a very good fit. It's the only thing is not reefer, but if it goes well with his company, then I'll probably be going as soon as they get me tested out or offer me an orientation. So well, I hope this does this the right way. Yeah, I hope this does this the right way. Alright. So, I forgot something. Man, I'm forgetting it again. I have something I want to tell you. Oh, Facebook. So, I've been seeing that drivers have been going to my Facebook page on Facebook for the Trucker Doll. I haven't uploaded a lot on there, and that's because I'm with Ghetto Mobile and I don't have hotspot. So just so you guys know, I have gone and gotten a Cricket phone, which is AT&T. AT&T bought Cricket. That and I'm probably gonna port this number over to that phone, but I want to see how it runs first. But I tried John and Jay or something like that. They did Cricket when Verizon took away their unlimited, and they said that they had good reception over the road. And I talked to a couple of drivers for a prepaid account. Who I'm using right now is Ghetto Boost Mobile, and Boost, they're Sprint based, and they don't have any kind of, their roaming sucks. Whereas this is a little bit like $5 more than what I paid for this plan. So I'm going to switch. I picked up the Cricket phone in Lubbock. I'll probably be turning it on tomorrow when I get paid. And I'm going to see how it works over the road. And that's probably going to be the new phone I use until I get my AT&T paid off. I owe AT&T for equipment because I had bought a Samsung. And when I fractured my ankle, I just couldn't make the monthly payments plus the bill because my AT&T bill was like $130 a month. Plus, and that included the equipment. So yeah, I couldn't afford it while I was down because I was bringing in a, what do you call it, disability workman's comp income, and you're only getting 60% of your average pay. So now what I'm doing when I'm driving, I'm putting $100 towards it. My first thing was the GPS, because the GPS here, you turn in the middle of stuff and trying to, yeah, I'm not trying to do that. So I got the GPS. The next move is going to be the phone. I got to get I'm probably going to start, I'm going to go to CB, I think, here pretty soon, but I have points at TA, so I might use my points for that. I was going to use my points for a Sirius, but I think I'm going to use my points for my CB because we are in inclement weather and I need that. We do have weather band here, but CB also gives me the capability to talk to other drivers. So I think I'm going to get my CB on here next, and then I can get the hell is it called? I can get the, come on with it, Shannon. I can get the Sirius satellite radio at any time. Bill gave me one of his old ones, but it's missing like the antenna and stuff. And because of the cost, I can get the whole trucking antenna kit for like, I think it's like $100, and then they give me a $50 Visa card, and so it's only gonna cost me like $79 because of the antenna, the mount, all that, and that's what I'm probably gonna do. But yeah, I will be, since I'm at the hotel, I'll be using the Wi-Fi there. I have to pay for it there, but because it's the company, it's where most of the trucking companies, the company I'm with, Night Transport, Conway, they all have their drivers for orientation go to this hotel. And so I get a $40 a night discount. Mine was $40 a night. So I'm paying for that. That's why I say when I come in, I have tons of family here in Arizona, but I ain't the hell staying with none of them. As I said in the earlier part of this video, I avoid family drama like the plague. God bless them. They're sweet. So a lot of them are very sweet people. But they live in the family drama and curses. And I can't. I just can't. And so I can't do it. And so, yeah. But anyway, y'all, I just want to let you know, I will be updating the Facebook. I will be uploading, sending videos over there. I'll be going here editing and adding my Facebook link into the videos. I just have not been able to do that from Ghetto Mobile. For whatever reason, it's not letting me send my videos over to the Trucker Doll channel. But if I go on via computer, it'll let me do that. Also, the Cricket phone now gives me the capability of a $10 hotspot. So it'll up my monthly bill, but it's AT&T. I get a hotspot I can use through the phone. And I'm going to do all that once I turn it on tomorrow, because my paycheck goes on there tomorrow. So I'll have it budgeted in. Plus, I transferred some money from my savings account because I knew I was going to be home time. And this check should be, preferably could be a pretty decent check because of the number of miles I did under this buy, and it closed out on Wednesday. So we'll get all that done. Anyway,